I wasn't very social during college. My grades weren't great, I didn't join a frat, didn't have a girlfriend, and wasn't really involved in anything. I wasn't very happy, but I'm not complaining. In my late 30s, I found an amazing, loyal girl who would always stand by me. Now we're living together with our two cats, Blue and Raz, and I'm planning to propose soon. Back in college, my friends Bryson and Ian were in a similar situation, so we made our own fun. Frat parties weren't our thing, but we tried to go to any party we could. Many were off campus, and one time we even drove over an hour just to go to one. We didn't mind going the distance since we wanted to make the most of those years. One Friday, Ian messaged us that a girl he was talking to knew of a party nearby. Bryson joked that he hoped it wouldn't be some strange death metal anime-themed thing, but Ian reassured us it'd be a normal party. With nothing better to do, we convinced Bryson's brother Chris to drive us. Chris didn't drink, so he was fine being our designated driver. On the drive there, Ian started complaining that the girl hadn't replied to his texts. We brushed it off, but Ian grew more upset when her profile vanished from his phone. We joked that she'd probably blocked him to go with someone else. When we finally arrived, the house was huge compared to others nearby. Ian needed to shake off the bad mood, so we had a few drinks in the car and then headed in. From the start, it felt strange. All the lights were on, and the guests were dressed more like they were at a formal dinner than a party. The music was eerie too, just instrumental, no lyrics, unlike the typical party music. We shrugged it off and tried to enjoy ourselves, exploring the house and grabbing drinks. However, I noticed people giving us odd looks, like we didn't belong. Eventually, Chris went back to the car to smoke, saying he felt out of place. Just after, three girls approached us. They flirted heavily and hinted at an entrance fee, holding a bottle of tequila. Not wanting to look uncool, we drank. After that, things loosened up as we drank and danced with them. At one point, I noticed a small green mark on Tina's neck. A thin, drawn-looking line. I wanted to ask her about it, but decided against it. After a while, Bryson and Ian both wandered off with their girls. I stayed with Tina, but feeling anxious, I went to the bathroom. There, I bumped into an older guy dressed formally. He just stared at me and didn't move. I noticed he had the same green line on his neck. When I asked him if he was okay, he simply asked, "Who invited you?" I replied, mentioning Ian's girl, Callista. He smirked and said, "Do you see Callista here?" I left the bathroom and began noticing others with the same green marks. When I found Bryson and Ian, I pulled them aside to warn them. They laughed it off, but then I noticed both of them now had thin red marks on their necks. They didn't seem concerned, saying it was probably makeup smudges. Just then, a man with a green mark passed us, staring. That was enough. We rushed for the door, and Ian reluctantly followed. Once outside, as we got into Chris's car, both Bryson and Ian's phones blew up with messages from the girls asking why we'd left. They hadn't even seen us go. My friends blocked the numbers, and to this day I don't know what would have happened if we'd stayed. Everyone I tell this story to has their own theories, but honestly, I don't want to know.